Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Colin, you're watching Bug Out Overland, and these are the all-new Ride shocks. This is a shock brand that just released a couple months ago, and on this episode, we're going to take a closer look at them. Let's get into it. Rough Country, King, Old Man Emu, Fox, Icon. There are plenty of shock brands out there, and to someone who's in the market for some suspension parts, it can be overwhelming. So who is Ride Shocks? What makes Ride Shocks unique compared to other brands? And why have I decided to go with Ride Shocks as my next setup? We're going to get all these questions answered, but before we do, let's go ahead and unbox these bad boys and see what's inside. So who is Ride Shocks? You may think that these guys just came out of the woodworks or they're just another brand on the market, but the truth is that this company has a little bit more history than what meets the eye. Have you ever heard of AccuTune Off-Road? If you've done any research on King and Fox shocks, you probably know who these guys are, have come across them, as they're very well known throughout the off-roading community. They are experts when it comes to suspension work and specialize in custom tuning King and Fox shocks, especially for Tacomas like mine that have a ton of extra weight added onto it. Well, after almost 20 years of engineering experience and tinkering with shocks, they have decided to create their own brand, and here we are, Ride Shocks. What makes Ride Shocks unique? I think Ride Shocks' biggest noticeable feature that sets them apart from the competition is that they offer shock setups that are pre-tuned to the specific weight of your vehicle. Normally you would have to pay extra to have your springs swapped out for a heavier weight rating, or sometimes to have them custom tuned, but that's not the case with Ride Shocks. For the Tacoma platform, they offer 3 separate SKUs for varying weight ranges for the front coilovers and 5 separate SKUs for varying weight ranges for the rear shocks. Ride quality is these guys' #1 priority, thus the name. These are not race shocks that bolt onto an OEM vehicle. These shocks are designed to be the perfect blend of on-road comfortability and off-road performance right out of the box. All shocks also come standard with dual piston adjusters for high and low speed compression for a wide range of customization, and also have application specific valving, so not all adjusters are the same. Why did I choose Ride Shocks? When it comes to building my truck, everything I've added serves a purpose and blends in with the theme of the truck in some way, shape, or form. I'd like to think that I've customized the truck in a way that stands out in a clean way without seeming like some of those very cookie cutter builds out there, which brings me to the first reason why I chose ride shocks, I like to be different. Everyone runs Kings, Fox, Dobinsons, or some other brand out there, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, as many of those brands have gained a good reputation over time. But a new name on the market with shocks that look as good as these, perform equally as well on paper compared to the top competitors, and have the experience and reputation of AccuTune Off-Road to back the product, I did not hesitate to jump on this opportunity. The second reason is I believe Ride Shocks has more than what it takes to handle all of the off-roading and long distance driving I'm doing with my Tacoma on the regular. For the past few years, I've been running a 2-inch ARB Old Man Emu suspension kit, which is a great low budget starter kit for the time being that wasn't a puck and block kit that allowed me to fit 33-inch tires on my truck. But with all of the off-roading that I was doing and all of the weight that I was carrying, they were just too stiff, not adjustable, they're not rebuildable, and they just simply weren't up to the task, which meant that I needed to go with something heavier duty. For the longest time, I was torn between Fox and King shocks and was planning on going through AccuTune to purchase one or the other, since they're both high-end, reputable shock brands that AccuTune specializes in. I've also been running AccuTune's upper control arms on my truck for like, I don't know, a year and some change, and they have been absolutely fantastic to me. While in the process of shock shopping, AccuTune informed me that if I would be willing to wait a little while, they were planning on releasing something of their own that I may be interested in. A few months later down the road, they released Ride Shocks, and here we are. AccuTune is a reputable company, and I know several people that have purchased their shock setups through them, so I figured why not? I'll wait a little and see what they come up with. In the meantime, while waiting though, I went ahead and purchased some used Fox Performance Elite series, just so that way I would have something nicer to compare the ride shocks to, since the old lift kit setup that I was coming from wasn't going to be a very good comparison. The Fox Performance Elite series have been great so far, even after having a ton of miles on them and having been heavily used, but I have a feeling I'll be more impressed with this new shock brand than the Fox. When it came time to finally buy the ride shocks, their Tacoma fitment guide made it really simple to determine what rating shocks I needed. All I had to do was get my truck weighed beforehand, which wasn't difficult at all to do. I just hit up a local Love's gas station, hopped on their CAT scale, and got my axle weights. This wasn't required, but was very helpful if you have a ton of accessories and it may be hard to guess what everything weighs. From there, I used the guide as mentioned above to select the specific shocks rated for my truck and place my order. Lastly, I bought these shocks because plain and simple, they look fantastic. The bright red with the silver springs, accents, and black remote reservoirs, as well as the little blue and gold adjuster knobs, these things can be seen from a mile away. Similar to the striking and iconic blue and silver that Kings sport, Ride Shocks demands that same attention. At first glance, these shocks look amazing, they look and feel very well constructed, and they have the history of AccuTune designers and engineers to back them up. This may be a new shock brand, and you may even be thinking that I'm taking a risk in buying and installing these, but I personally believe that they will prove themselves to both me and you as consumers and will perform well on and off-road. The true test that I very much so look forward to seeing is how they would stand the test of time. Weather, elements, mileage, rough terrain, all of the above. But that is something that will only come with the test of time, so let's get out there and hit some trails and see how they perform. Be sure to check out the next video coming soon where I show you guys how to install them. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and found this video informative. If you did, as always, smash that like button, share this video with your friends and fellow off-road enthusiasts, and subscribe to my channel to follow along the journey. Remember, when hitting the trails, have fun, be safe, tread lightly, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.